Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Today we are looking at not one but two watches from Christopher Ward. These are the new C63 Sealander models. We have the 36mm and the 39mm GMT. Now approximately 9 months ago I managed to do a comparison between the 36mm and the 39 non-GMT C63 Sealander. So I'll link that video on screen so you guys can check it out to get some more information on the sizing aspect. So what is new about these two models? Well, there's two things. One being the two new and fresh dial options, and the other being a brand new Consort bracelet. So in this review, I'm going to talk about the dial colors, of course, and how good this Consort bracelet is. Now, before we get into that though, let's give you an overview of the technical details and price. So I'll put up the specifications on screen. Both the 36 and the 39mm are the exact same, except for the movement, of course. The C63 is powered by a Celita SW200, and the 39mm GMT is powered by the SW330-2, which is an alternative to the ETA 2893 with a 56-hour power reserve. Now both watches feature exhibition mineral glass casebacks, which allow you to see the decorated movement and rotors, which of course makes it look very fancy indeed. Now both movements are known for their incredible accuracy and reliability. Now the observable difference I found between two was actually on the winding aspect. The SW200 is a more torquey movement and has an audible rasp to winding, whereas the SW330 is very silent and extremely light on the winding. Now remember, I had the ETA 2893 in my Steinhardt Premium 500 GMT, which was exactly the same. Now in terms of price, the C63 will set you back around £840 on the bracelet, either the dressier new Consort or the original Bada. The 39mm GMT is retailing for £1,060 with bracelets of either choice. Now both watches, as I have said previously, are the best value for money Swiss-made sports watches. They're very premium in design aesthetics, materials, and of course very high-end finishing, as you guys have seen numerous times. Christopher Ward struck gold with the light catcher case, which they have managed to resize from I think around 42mm down to this 36mm, also including the 39mm and the military spec watches coming in at 38mm. Now for me, as I concluded in the aforementioned comparison, the 38mm is the actual perfect size. Subjective to me, of course, as I have a 6.5-inch wrist. Now that is definitely the Goldilocks zone with this sports watch for me anyway. Now the 36mm wears a touch too small, which isn't a bad thing, and they managed this by getting the lug-to-lug down to an incredible 43mm and just 47.5 with the male end links. Now the 39mm in comparison has a 45mm lug-to-lug, and it's just under 50mm at the male end links, so both are actually extremely well and fit great overall. But when I tried the military and the Dune at 38mm, it was the best between both. On to the changes, and Christopher Ward have refreshed both the 39 and the 36mm with new dials. We have the Dragonfly Blue, which is an extremely vibrant aqua style blue. It's a sunburst style which really loves the light. It really pops against the predominantly brushed case and polished highlights. You also get very sporty orange accents on the dial from the small water resistance text, the GMT hand, and the tip of the second hand. It really complements this Dragonfly Blue really well. Now when we move on to the Mulberry dial, this is where I really struggled. Now I'm aware the camera doesn't show you the exact dial color, and while Christopher Ward described this dial amazingly well using colors like scarlet and deep red, that's not the case. This is a bit of red overpowered by a super off-putting hot pink. It's such a difficult dial to like, but on camera, even on the outdoor shots, it looks like a decent red, but seriously in hand, you can't get away from this ridiculous hot pink sunburst which just kills the dial for me. I really was looking forward to a very deep and lustrous red, and I think if they went down the enamel or lacquer dial route, they would have got the red that they wanted and not so much hot pink in the sunburst. So please bear that in mind if you are interested in the Mulberry dial. Now the rest of the dial is as per usual with the brushed and polished beveled hour markers and very sharp brushed and polished handset. They are no doubt some of the best finish hands out there. I particularly love the brushed tip of the arrow, giving you such a sharp edge on that hand. Now I don't know if you knew this, but the logo is actually rhodium, which I find very interesting. The logo has changed from the text they use. Now it's 3D applied and brushed, and what I really love about the C63 is just the overall balance. The dial details combined with the case give this watch the perfect dressed up sports watch look. The case has the perfect amount of brushing mixed with very fine and precisely polished highlights found around the case, the lugs, the crown guards, and the bezel being brushed in a perfectly smooth circular fashion. This is what I always found looking at the C63. Now, combined with that sporty badder bracelet, this completed the look, and I think you'll agree it made the C63 the perfect Garda watch, especially with that 150-meter water resistance. Now, this is where the Consort bracelet does tip the balance more towards a dressy watch. Now, I took my time to make this assessment. When they first arrived, they looked very impressive on the Consort. It's a really well made bracelet, small links, not too thick, great brushing and polishing on the center links. It reminded me of the Presage bracelet, and it has all the mod cons like quick release bars and screw-in links, but they did add a butterfly clasp. So for me, this turned more into a dressier watch, and combined with the sporty bezel of the 39mm GMT, I don't think the Consort works really well. Now, it may work better on the 36mm, but just about, I'd say, because it still looks a little too sporty for the bracelet to match. Now, both do wear nicely on wrist. The bracelet is very smooth and well built, and you don't need the half links due to the smaller links, but it does give both sports watches a much more dressier look and feel. The Consort needs to be on a dressier watch in my opinion. Maybe if the C63 had a polished bezel, it would have been better. And having worn the badder bracelet on the previous C63 I had, I really felt the difference of not having a sportier clasp. The butterfly clasp really doesn't do it for me on this, and as I said, it tips the balance a little too much on the dressy side without changing the case style setup to reflect this. So as I said already, the watch is a perfect balance of a dressed up sporty watch where the sports watch design is the main aspect of the watch. But this is just my opinion. The bracelet is still very well made and some will actually like it. So to summarize, I really like the bracelet, but just not on these sports watches. And regarding the new colors, Dragonfly Blue steals the show, but the Mulberry is a no-go. So that's it from me today, guys. Please let me know your thoughts below in the comments section on what you think about the dial and the bracelet, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you guys for tuning in.